Hello, this is Scott Sperling, and this is my Week 6 case analysis, where we're looking at Group M India and digital maturity. The objectives of this case analysis are to look at Group M India's company background, the India advertising landscape in 2012, Group M India's digital maturity, and review a few key areas of Group M India's business where I will identify key priorities and initiatives. Lastly, I'll have a conclusion on Group M India's digital maturity. The Group M India company background. Well, Group M India is a subsidiary of Group M, which is the world's largest media investment management company. Group M India was established in 2001. Group M's parent company is WPP, which is a global leader in marketing communication services. WPP employs 165,000 people, spanning 3,000 offices across 116 countries. WPP billings were close to $91 billion in 2012, which equated to 35% more than its closest competitor. Group M India accounted for 6%, or around $5.6 billion, of Group M's total global billings in 2012. There are 11 agencies that make up Group M, and they act as independent operators. Also, in 2012, Mr. CVL Srinivas came on board as the CEO of South Asia for Group M. He came to the company with over 20 years of media experience. What did the India advertising landscape look like in 2012? Well, tremendous growth had occurred in the Indian advertising industry from 2005 to 2012, which saw spend increase by close to 50%, from $2.64 billion to over $5 billion. Even with this tremendous growth, the landscape was fragmented. It was highly competitive, with television and print being the top two areas of media spend, but with a potential for social media ready to explode due to the growth of mobile connectivity. Social network users worldwide had grown from 0.97 billion to 1.4 billion from 2010 to 2012, with no signs of slowing down. In India, social networking was the second most favorite online activity of urban Indian users, with 72% of users engaging in social networking. That was only 8% lower than the top activity, email. India is on the verge of social networking taking the top spot due to the increased availability of smartphones. Only 6% of media investment was spent on digital in 2012. Digital is clearly an area where advertising agencies can take advantage and stake their claim. What is the digital maturity level of Group M India in 2012? Well, it was pretty low, and you could say it was in the early stage. What that means is the role of digital business is mainly talked by the company and not in the sphere of a developing or maturing level company. Now, in a developing company, digital initiatives would only be for certain parts of the business, but digital would not be core to the business. A company that is high in the maturity level would have digital initiatives as a core part of their business. Group M India was lacking the digital analytics and tools to prove to companies that they could excel in the digital sphere and not just in the traditional segments of advertising. This was further magnified by an executive at Group M India saying, Group M was sometimes pitching against 17 smaller companies who would even win business away from them. Group M India's digital maturity level being on the lower scale was also evident in the fact that younger employees were tending to leave the business because of a lack of digital maturity and a lack of the company embracing digital. Lastly, Group M India did realize that digital was not at its core, but that it must be. That is further evidenced by Mr. Srinivas. He was quoted as saying, "The vision is to have digital at the heart of everything we do, to create a digital culture and to provide digital solutions to clients with new ideas, new approaches." Now that quote confirms that Group M India wasn't where they wanted to be or needed to be in terms of digital culture and digital maturity, but it was on their mind. Now let's look at product, key priorities and initiatives. Mr. Srinivas believes that agencies need to build the right systems, get the right people, get the data scientists to make sense of all the data and translate that to outcomes. Group M India's product priorities are to improve the data analytics systems to obtain market insights that will allow them to translate the data into new ways to reach those market segments where customers will realize the highest value. Group M India also needs to transform their product into one that encompasses and embraces all facets of media, not just TV and print, but film and digital platforms, including social media, search engine optimization, or SEO, remarketing, retargeting, and video advertising. Group M India must enact initiatives that address these key priorities. One initiative will be to increase spending on best-in-class data analytics programs to allow them to use SEO, rank checking, and SEO keyword analysis. Group M India must also fund artificial intelligence to coincide with the analytics programs it will be obtaining. AI will allow for machine learning, which will be used to gather more customer data to then use with digital analytics tools such as Google Analytics, Kissmetrics, and Adobe Analytics. Lastly, increased digital spend will be used for live video marketing and personalized marketing. According to Itamar Geo, in a poll conducted by Livestream in New York Magazine, 80% of those surveyed would rather watch a brand's video than read a blog post, and 82% preferred videos over social media posts. This is an area that could set Group M India apart. Let's look at the profile of Group M India. A key priority is to increase the digital maturity of Group M India by embracing new mobile strategies that will allow them to compete better in the digital space, so that they do not lose business to those smaller, more digitally focused agencies. Another priority of Group M India to increase their profile will be to tie everything they do back to digital, just as their CEO, Mr. Srinivas, had echoed. A third priority will be to position Group M India to enhance the customer experience and to obtain customers that aren't market leaders, as traditionally a majority of Group M's clients were ranked 1 or 2 in their categories. Those companies do not have a lot of room to grow their market share, and Group M India can offer companies that aren't at the top of their categories an all-inclusive, digital-centric product. The main initiative of Group M India is to promote that digital culture, and that will transform Group M and establish them as a digital-centric advertising company. Group M India will look to partner with social media platforms such as Facebook to introduce new mobile strategies and put their digital analytics tools to the best use. How will Group M India begin the transformation? Well, that will be in a few ways. One way is through a smooth onboarding process where customer expectations are clarified, communication is started immediately, workflows and processes are defined, and quality assurance is held in high regard. Quality assurance is important to client retention. It sets quality expectations from day one, lets customers know quality is important, and puts accountability into the agency's hands. Group M India will also build case studies to attract customers. Group M India can share their story of a company that has worked with traditional top-ranked companies to now an agency with digital at its center, and its ability to penetrate previously untapped markets through digital means. According to an eMarketer survey, 62.6% of respondents voted in favor of case studies being effective in generating leads. To further promote digital culture, Group M India will implement and test digital strategies and utilize one-week sprints similar to Google and Cardinal Health. Group M India will experiment and fail fast, meaning they will conduct more small experiments that will lead to big innovations. For example, digitally maturing business would be 2.5 times more likely than an early-stage company such as Group M India to conduct small experiments and large enterprise-wide efforts. To enhance digital maturity, Group M India has to increase the mix of small experiments and enterprise-wide efforts. On to people. One key priority for Group M India is to enable more cross-fusion collaboration and engagement with employees. Group M has to update the employee experience, which will decrease the number of employees leaving the company after only a few years, and instead allow employees to grow and use their talents across all parts of the business. Another priority of Group M India regarding people is to promote that digital culture. By promoting a digital culture, employees will not look to startups or other companies more ingrained in digital. Group M India will be a company where employees that are highly skilled in digital to use those talents to grow and learn. Group M India must break apart the silos and take an approach with customers that will require their employees from different agencies across Group M India to work on projects together. Those employees will be included in all steps of the customer engagement and experience. Group M India will promote cross-functional view, which will lead to asking people to think differently. Employees will no longer be hired to fit into silos or segments of Group M India, but looked at in regards to where skills they offer can improve the company overall, and employees don't just fit into a specific job role. Group M India will cultivate digital leaders by valuing leadership skills like inclusion, growth, and collaboration. Tech will be embraced first by identifying those highly skilled tech-savvy individuals and putting them in places to lead the digital revolution at Group M India. Lastly, another initiative Group M India will enact is to engage with employees via digital whiteboards and weekly stand-ups, where employees will be encouraged to share successes in projects and challenge ideas and company initiatives. Lastly, let's look at partnerships. A key priority of Group M India should be to increase partnerships with innovators. Group M India will also keenly analyze these partnerships. In order to form new partnerships, Group M India must identify areas where partnerships will help bridge gaps in digital advertising and digital maturity, such as social networking with partnerships with companies such as Facebook, as I previously touched upon. Group M India must identify best-in-class competitors and smaller agencies that perform in some areas better than Group M India. Group M India will test out those potential partnerships by performing small-scale projects together to test the nature of the working relationship. Group M India will also partner with non-traditional companies in order to gain advantage in the digital space, such as companies specializing in data mining to establish metrics that will be used in SEO. Group M India will also look to universities and research programs. They will fund or co-fund PhD candidates or postdoc researchers to study new technologies and market research. Behavioral sciences are more relevant to business than ever, reaping the benefits of social data mining. In conclusion, Group M India, although in the early stages of digital maturity, has the chance to leap ahead of their competitors if they become digital-centric and put into action the initiatives I have proposed. Thank you.